So yesterday we read about 5, 6 super centenarians on their basic lifestyles and how each and every one had such a different and a unique way of working and way of living. Continuing that chapter, Ikigai artists. The secret to long life, however, is not held by super centenarians alone. There are many people of advanced age, though they haven't made it to the Guinness World Records, offer us inspiration and ideas for bringing energy and meaning to our lives. Artists, for example, who carry the torch of their ikigai instead of retiring, have this power. Art, in all its form, is an ikigai that can bring happiness and purpose to our days. Enjoying or creating beauty is free and something all human beings have access to. Hokusai, the Japanese artist who made woodblock prints in the ukiyo-e style and lived for 88 years, from the mid 80th to the mid 19th century, added this postscript to the first edition of his 100 views of Mount Fuji. All that I have produced before the age of 40 is not worth being counted. It is at the age of 73 that I have somewhat begun to understand the structure of true nature of animals and grasses and trees, and birds and fishes and insects. Consequently, at 80 years of age, I shall have made still more progress. At 90, I hope to have penetrated into the mystery of things, and at 100 years of age, I should have reached decidedly a marvelous degree. And when I shall be 110, all that I do, every point and every line, shall be instinct with life. In the pages that follow, we've collected some of the most inspirational words from artists interviewed by Camille Sweeney for the New York Times. Of those still living, none have retired, and all still enjoy their passion when they plan to pursue until their final breath, demonstrating that when you have a clear purpose, no one can stop you. The actor Christopher Plummer, still working at 86, reveals a dark desire shared by many who love the profession. We want to drop dead on stage. That would be a nice theatrical thea- theatrical way to go. Osamu Tezuka, the father of modern Japanese manga, shared this feeling before he died in 1989. His last words as he drew one final cartoon were, "Please just let me work." The 86-year-old filmmaker Frederick Wiseman declared on a stroll through Paris that he likes to work, which is why he does it with such intensity. Everybody complains about their aches and pains and all that, but my friends are either dead or are still working, he said. Carmen Herrera, a painter who just entered her 100th year, sold her first canvas at age 89. Today, her work is in the permanent collections of the Tate Modern and the Museum of Modern Art. When asked how she viewed her future, she responded, "I am always waiting to finish the next thing. Absurd, I know. I go day by day." When they say that people have this long life and, they don't retire because they're continuously so driven by their work, their passion. But somehow we have these corporate laws that 58 or 59 is the year of retirement. So that gives a big block mental block to a person working, saying that, I don't think so I will be able to continue my corporate life in an active manner because that's the age set. But if you think at it from a perspective of a person, this person has worked nearly 35 to 40 years of his life. He has all the required skills, all the requisite experiences to do whatever he is doing. Or generally, the notion between people is, youth ko aage aane do, youth ko aage aane do. I'm not against ki youth ko aage na aane do. But this guy who has worked for 35 years knows the thing in and out. A newcomer will take so much time, will spend so much money, so much of effort in learning the basic knickknacks of what this person has done. Probably he also figured it that way, unless or until he was guided by a person or guided by a mentor. He would have also taken time, definitely taken time, because the people have this notion that I do not want to let go. I am only valuable because of the knowledge I have. And if I share my knowledge, I won't have any value. A lot of people still do. So the concept or the thought process, if you just tweak it a little bit, इस बंदे के पास इतना experience है. If you can, let him be, and if this person really wants to not retire, that is the right age to teach. Because anybody who's doing a job with this person would have been doing needs those skills. It will be much better if somebody can give me and teach me the practical skills, because practical or theory in college, it's different. Whatever you learn in the practical field, whatever you experience in the practical field is quite different from what you learn in a college or any other thing. So I have the strong notion that these people should not retire. In fact, companies should make a law to make sure that these people get into imparting their knowledge and skills after the age of 60, so that it benefits all rather than just going ahead. ठीक है, a lot of people get into those consultancy roles, but वो भी 4-5 साल तक चलते हैं generally, because the other person says यार मैं क्या करूँगा. But yeah, if you think, if that person who has that skill gets it, that my legacy can be carried forward and I can be known for the way I taught people and impart whatever I have learned in my entire 35 to 40 years of career, it can be so beneficial. I mean, that's a thought definitely there with me, but let's see if they can do it, nothing like it. Never stop learning. You may grow old and trembling in your anatomies. You may lie awake at night listening to the disorder of your veins. You may miss your only love. You may see the world about you devastated by evil lunatics, or know your honor trampled in the sewers of baser minds. There is only one thing for it then: to learn. Learn why the world wags and what wags it. That is the only thing which the mind can never exhaust, never alienate, never be tortured by, never fear or distrust, and never dream of regretting. T.H. White, the once and future king. For his part, naturalist and author Edward O. Wilson asserted, I feel I have enough experience to join those who are addressing big questions. About 10 years ago, when I began reading and thinking more broadly about the questions of what are we, Where did we come from and where are we going? I was astonished at how little this was being done. Ellsworth Kelly, an artist who passed away in 2015 at the age of 92, assured us that the idea that we lose our faculties with age in part is a myth, but instead we develop a greater clarity and capacity for observation. It's one thing about getting older, you see more. Every day, I am continuing to see new things. That's why there are new paintings. At 86, the architect Frank Gehry reminds us that some buildings can take 7 years from the time you are hired until you're finished, a fact that favors a patient attitude with regard to the passage of time. The man responsible for the Guggenheim Museum Bilbao, however, knows how to live in the here and now. You stay in your time, you don't go backward. I think if you relate to the time you are in, you keep your eyes and ears open, read the paper, see what's going on, stay curious about everything, you will automatically be in your time. Longevity in Japan. Because of its robust civil registry, many of those verified as having lived the longest are found in the United States. However, there are many centenarians living in remote villages in other countries. A peaceful life in the countryside seems pretty common among people who have watched a century pass. Without question, the international superstar of longevity is Japan, which has the highest life expectancy of any country in the world, in addition to a healthy diet, which we will explore in detail, and an integrated healthcare system in which people go to the doctor for regular checkups to prevent disease. Longevity in Japan is closely tied to its culture, as we will see later on. The sense of community and the fact that Japanese people make an effort to stay active until the very end are key elements to their secret to long life. If you want to stay busy, even when there is no need to work, there has to be an ikigai on your horizon, a purpose that guides you throughout your life and pushes you to make things of beauty and utility for the community and yourself. When he says here that you stay in your time, you don't go backward. And I think if you relate to the time you're in, you keep your eyes and ears open, read the paper, see what's going on, stay curious about everything, you will automatically be in your time. You stay in your time. You stay in the now. You don't go backward. You don't let your consciousness, your attention go backward in the past to the past event, probably past failures, past tragedies, anything of the past. No going backward. You think you relate to the time you're in. You keep your eyes and ears open, see what's going on, and stay curious. That's the exact definition of being consciously aware. You keep your eyes and ears open, see what's going on, and stay curious about everything. You will automatically be in your time. You will automatically be in the now. So being consciously aware, not and ensuring that your eyes, ears are open and you're always curious about everything, not letting your consciousness or your attention shift backward towards the past, or move it anxiously towards what is going to happen in the future, but being consciously aware in the now. One of the major reasons for happiness, one of the major reasons for having a good attitude, and one of the major reasons for having a long, successful life. Chapter 6, Lessons from Japan's Centenarians, Traditions and Proverbs for Happiness and Longevity. To get to Ogimi, we had to fly nearly 3 hours from Tokyo to Naha, the capital of Okinawa. Several months earlier, we had contacted the town council of a place known as the Village of Longevity to explain the purpose of our trip and our intention to interview the oldest members of the community. After numerous conversations, we finally got the help we were looking for and were able to rent a house just outside the town. 1 year after starting this project, we found ourselves on the doorstep of some of the longest living people in the world. We realized right away that time seems to have stopped there, as though the entire town was living in an endless here and now. Arriving in Ogimi. After 2 hours on the road from Naha, we are finally able to stop worrying about the traffic. To our left are the sea and an empty stretch of beach. To our right, the mountainous jungle of Okinawa's Yanbaru forests. Once Route 58 passes Nago, where Orion Bear, the pride of Okinawa, is made, it skirts the coast until it reaches Ogimi. Every now and then, a few little houses and stores crop up in the narrow stretch of land between the road and the base of the mountain. We pass small clusters of houses scattered here and there as we enter the municipality of Ogimi, but the town doesn't seem to have a center. Our GPS finally guides us to our destination, the Center for the Support and Promotion of Well-being, housed in an unattractive cinder block building right off the highway. We go in through the back door where a man named Tyra is waiting for us. Besides him is a petite, cheerful woman who introduces herself as Yuki. Two other women immediately get up from desk and show us to a conference room. They serve us each a cup of green tea and a few shikuwaza, a small citrus fruit that packs a big nutritional punch, as we will see later on. Tyra sits down across from us in his formal suit and opens up a large planner, a three-ring binder. Yuki sits next to him. The binder contains a list of all the town residents, organized by age and club or MOI. Tyra points out that these groups of people who help one another are characteristic of Ogimi. The Moi are not organized around any concrete objective. They function more like a family. Tyra also tells us that volunteer work rather than money drives much of what happens in Ogimi. Everyone offers to pitch in, and the local governments take care of assigning tasks. This way, everyone can be useful and feels like a part of the community. Ogimi is the penultimate town before Cape Hido, the northernmost point of the largest island in the archipelago. From the top of one of Ogimi's mountain, we are able to look down under over the whole town. Almost everything in the green of Yanbaru jungle, making us wonder where the nearly 3,200 residents are hiding. We can see a few houses, but they are scattered in little clusters near the sea or in small valleys accessible by side roads. Communal life. We are invited to eat in one of Ogimi's few restaurants, but when we arrive, the only three tables are already reserved. Don't worry, we'll go to Churamio instead. It never fills up, says Yuki, walking back to her car. She's still driving at age 88 and takes pride in that. Her co pilot is 99 and has also decided to spend the day with us. We have to drive fast to keep up with them on a highway that is sometimes more dirt than asphalt. Finally, reaching the other end of the jungle, we can at least sit down to eat. I don't really go to restaurants, Yuki says as we take our seats. Almost everything I eat comes from my vegetable garden, and I buy my fish from Tanaka, who's been my friend forever. The restaurant is right by the sea and seems like something from the planet Tatooine from Star Wars. The menu boasts in large letter that it serves slow food prepared with organic vegetables grown in the town. But really, Yuki continues, food is the least important thing. She's extroverted and rather pretty. She likes to talk about her role as the director of several associations run by the local government. Food won't help you live longer, she says, bringing her lips a bite of the diminutive confection that followed our meal. The secret is smile and having a good time. There are no bars and only a few restaurants in Ogimi, but those who live there enjoy a high social life that revolves around community center. The town is divided into 17 neighborhoods, and each one has a president and several people in charge of things like culture, festivals, social activities, and longevity. Residents pay close attention to this last category. We are invited to the community center of one of the 17 neighborhoods. It is an old building right next to the one of the mountains of the Yanburu jungle, home to Bunagaya, the town's iconic spirits. The Bunagaya spirits of the Yanburu jungle. Bunagaya are magical creatures that inhabit the Yanbaru jungle near Ogimi and its surrounding towns. They manifest as children with long red hair and like to hide in the jungle's jagumaru banyan trees and go fishing on the beach. Many of Okinawa's stories and fables are about Bunayaga sprites. They are mischievous, playful, and unpredictable. Locals say that Bunagaya love the mountains, rivers, sea, trees, earth, wind, and animals, and that if you want to befriend them, you have to show respect for nature. You know, so beautifully said that food won't help you live longer. The secret is about smiling and having a good time. It's as simple as it said. हम जितना मर्जी करें जी, हम ये खा रहे हैं, हम वो खा रहे हैं, but if that food is not taken, it's like your body is nothing but a container. Now if my container, which is my body, is unclean, no matter what I put in it, will it be clean? There is a container which is dirty, and I am trying to put in the best of food, the most hygienic, health conscious diet, calorie conscious, fat free, everything possible on this planet Earth, the best food possible on planet Earth, and I put it in that container. But if the container is dirty, do you think it will have medicinal effects or it will have the other effects? Put the best of a diamond in a container that's dirty, it will not clean the container. So cleaning the container is with your basic attitude of just smiling and let it be and enjoying the moment. Jaisa marji ho. It's all about having a good time. हम सारा टाइम दूसरी चीजों पे देते हैं. नो, वी नीड टू ईट हेल्दी, वी नीड टू eat at time, we need to follow intermittent fasting and all those whatever fundas we have. But at the end, what matters is you need to be happy in whatever you are doing. You need to have a good time. You need to smile and enjoy it. Enjoy the experience. I am not saying कि painful experiences नहीं होते. No, they are part of it. But rather than cribbing, you can just witness it and see कि भैया ये क्या है, क्यों आया है, why is it there in my space? And what happens is, there's a basic concept, whatever you resist will persist. तो आप जितना भी उस एक्सपीरियंस के साथ लड़ना चाहोगे ना, लड़ लो, वो जाएगा नहीं. All you need to do is let it pass. Because जितना आप उसके साथ रेजिस्ट करोगे, चाहे वो कोई इवेंट है, चाहे वो कोई पर्सन है, whatever is the scenario, the more you will resist and not accept, it will persist, it will be there, continuing to disturb you. So remember, in the end, it's all about smiling and having a nice time. It's as simple as it is. A birthday party. When we arrive at the neighborhood's community center, we are greeted by a group of about 20 people who proudly proclaim the youngest amongst us is 83. We conduct our interviews at a large table while drinking green tea. When we finish, we are brought to an event space where we celebrate the birthday of 3 members of the group. One woman is turning 99, another 94, and one young man has just reached 89. We sing a few songs popular in the village and finish up with happy birthday in English. The woman turning 99 blows out the candles and thanks everyone for coming to her party. We eat homemade shikwasa cake and end up dancing and celebrating as though it were the birthday of a 20-something. It's the first party, but not the last, that we'll attend during our week in the village. We'll also do karaoke with group of seniors who sing better than we do, and attend a traditional festival with local bands, dancers, and food stands at the foot of a mountain. Celebrate each day together. Celebration seems to be an essential part of life in Ogimi. We are invited to watch a game of gate ball, one of the most popular sports amongst Okinawa's older residents. It involves hitting a ball with a mallet-like stick. It is a low-impact sport that can be played anywhere and is a good excuse to move around and have fun as a group. The residents hold local competitions and there is no age limit for participants. We participate in the weekly game and lose to a woman who recently turned 104. Everyone cheers and the defeated looks on our faces elicits laughter. In addition to playing and celebrating as a community, spirituality is also essential to the happiness of the village residents. There's a very deep saying in these lines. When we say it's our happy birthday or happy birthday to you, and today is my happy birthday. Agreed. Today is your day where you were born. It's not that it's only today that you are happy. Every day can be happy days. But no, it's not said it's a happy day. It's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Nobody says it's a happy day every day. But to a birthday, they'll say happy day. So happiness already has come with a limited बॉन्ड की भैया बर्थडे पे होगा, हैप्पी एनिवर्सरी होगी, रोज क्यों नहीं हो सकता हैप्पी डे? इट्स अ जनरल नोशन which I was just thinking, because the way things have been created by us. See, remember when we were doing the book Power, so whatever you are saying, spellings is nothing but a spell being casted. So whatever words are coming out from your mouth, that's a spell being casted by you. So if you are saying only your birthday, the day you are born, should be happy, that's an indirect way of saying that others day, okay, can be happy, cannot be happy. But हाँ, ये मेरा happy होना चाहिए. Whereas, if we are aware of this entire knowledge of the spell being casted by way of our words, we can say it's a happy Monday. I mean, I think 365 days have been denoted with so many different days. It is this day, Flana Day, Valentine's Day, Rose Day, Chocolate Day, Bear Day, whatever. I'm not against it. But this is nothing but commercialization. At the end of the day, every day is a happy day. And why is it happy? Because you are alive. सांस चल रही है ना, it's a happy day. It's a fresh start. हो सकता है वापस ना आती. So just make a conscious effort of, ठीक है, अपना बर्थडे जरूर मनाओ. I'm not saying that birthdays are not special. Okay, but other days are also happy and special days. अगर हम एक थॉट से चलते हैं that everything, whatever is there in our space, whatever is happening to us, we are the one who are going to be giving it the true meaning. So we can give it, it's a happy day. And what is the happiness about? सांस चल रही है यार आज तो. I mean, it's a small thing to think about, but has a lot of depth in it. So every day is a happy day. Happy birthday भी है, happy anniversary भी है, happy Monday भी है, happy Tuesday भी है. The gods of Okinawa. The main religion in Okinawa is known as Rukyo Shinto. Rukyo is the original name of the Okinawa archipelago, and Shinto means the path of the gods. Rukyo Shinto combines elements of Chinese Taoism, Confucianism, Confucianism, bad with this word, Buddhism and Shintoism, with shamanistic and animistic elements. According to this ancient faith, the world is populated by an infinite number of spirits divided into several types: spirits of the home, of the forest, of the trees, and of the mountains. It is important to appease these spirits through rituals and festivals and by consecrating sacred grounds. Okinawa is full of sacred jungles and forests, and where many of the two main kinds of temples are found, the Utaki and the Uganju. We visited an Uganju, or a small open-air temple adorned with incense and coins, next to a waterfall in Ogimi. The Utaki is a collection of stones where people go to pray and where supposedly spirits gather. In Okinawa's religious practice, women are considered spiritually superior to men, whereas the opposite is true of traditional Shintoism in the rest of Japan. Yuta are women chosen as mediums by their communities to make contact with the spirit realm through traditional rites. Ancestor worship is another important feature in spiritual practice in Okinawa and in Japan in general. The home of each generation's firstborn usually contains a butsudan, or a small altar, used to pray for and make offerings to the family ancestors. Mabui. Every person has an essence or Mabui. This Mabui is our spirit and the source of our life force. It is immortal and makes us who we are. Sometimes the Mabui of someone who has died is trapped in the body of a living person. This situation requires a separation ritual to free the Mabui of the deceased. It often happens when a person dies suddenly, especially at a young age, and his or her Mabui does not want to move on to the realm of the dead. The Mabui can be passed from person to person by physical contact. A grandmother who leaves her granddaughter a ring transfers a part of her Mabui to her. Photographs can also be as a medium for passing Mabui among people.